This teacup has a crack in it, and you can't actually tell by looking at it. In fact, I couldn't see the crack. I didn't know there was a crack until I put hot water in it and the tea started to leak out and drip. And I thought maybe I had just overfilled it, and I didn't realize it was actually compromised. The tea cup is broken, and it can no longer do the very thing it's designed to do. It's just not working. And in leadership, we often treat our exhaustion the same way that I treated that cup. We may feel the steady drip of burnout. We may even have a spill from a missed deadline or an overlooked email. And then we just tell ourselves that if we manage to push a little harder, manage our time better, that the leaking will stop. Eventually, most leaders burn out, not because of one giant disaster, but because of 1,000 tiny leaks. You might feel it at the end of the day when you're just exhausted to the point where one specific thing completely knocks you out. And so a simple task feels like moving a mountain. In systems design, we call this friction. And today I'm going to show you how to find the cracks in your systems before you run dry. Our goal for today's conversation is actually a friction audit. This is one of the signature tools that we use in design thinking. So by the end of this video, you'll be able to identify exactly where you're leaking energy, and more importantly, how to build the hardware to plug those leaks for good. My name is Kalima Fergus-Ayele. I'm a systems design architect and global school leader. For almost 30 years, I've navigated educational school systems in a variety of countries. I'm from Brooklyn, New York, and I've worked as an educator in Tanzania, in South Africa, in Lesotho, and in Egypt. And I've learned a hard truth that we cannot think our way out of a broken system. So whether you're a school leader or director of DEI or a leader in any organization that's navigating a major life transition, you don't need to work harder. You just need to design better. And when I say leader, that applies to anyone. We are all leaders, even if we're leading an organization of one. We call our company Round Trip Ticket Home. I want you to think about our popular myth from The Wizard of Oz, where we have our heroine on her own hero's journey, if you will, where she and her companion, a little dog, are navigating this strange and curious new world. And along the way, she meets some companions on her journey, one of whom is the Scarecrow, who is looking for greater intelligence. The other one is the Tin Man, who wants more compassion and more heart. And then finally, we have the Lion, who is looking for courage. And they've decided that they need to go and find the wizard because they're convinced that this great and powerful wizard will be able to help them get the things that they're looking for. But when they arrive, they realize, much to their surprise, that the wizard isn't powerful at all. In fact, he's powerless, and he can't help them because everything that they've needed, they had within themselves. And so the round trip ticket home is essentially our journey back to ourselves, is back to a sense of safety and security within our own being. Today, we're going to talk about how we can do what we call a friction audit. And so for the next 24 hours, I just want you to notice every huff, if you will, of frustration, the moments, the moments where you procrastinate, the sense of, I just don't want to do this. And I want you to write those down. Is it the way that your files are organized? Is it the way you have to look for something in order to find that link that you're trying to find? Is it you trying to grind through following up with people because you don't have a tracking system? These are more than just annoyances, they're data points. So the next steps, that's step one, right, is just to make note and jot those down. Step two is actually categorizing each of those friction points or leaks, if you will, as either a software or a hardware issue. And software issue is related to your own mindset or your own internal behavioral patterns. So it could be, I just don't know how to set boundaries and say no, right? So I've taken on more than I should. And is that feeling of frustration that you know you shouldn't be actually doing the thing. And then there's a hardware issues or systematic issues, which is something that we can actually adjust. So for example, you might have a calendar link that allows people to book meetings during a time when you actually don't want to meet with people. So it might just mean that you have to go in and change your systems in that way. I just want to point out that many times we try to solve a hardware issue with software changes, right? So we might say, I just need to manage my time better, when the reality is you actually need to change your approach to managing time in the first place. And then finally, step 3 would be to pick the largest leak and ask yourself, what's the smallest step I can take to correct this? So for example, if you have to walk your dog every morning, you could just put the doggy bags and the keys and the leash right next to each other so that you're not stopping in 3 different places to get your materials together. And so now I just want you to begin to think about how you can see your energy as currency, because it is. If you're leaking energy, you cannot invest energy that you need for your vision, for your joy, and into those people around you. And so performing this 24-hour friction audit is your action step for today. Find one recurring leak, build one system tool or strategy, test it out. Tell me in the comments, what are you going to try doing? What part of your day you're going to redesign? And if you want to do a deep dive into this work together, I'm offering an online virtual workshop. I'll also be able to provide you with some blueprint tools so that you can get started. And of course, you can follow me on Substack if you want to know more about my own journey. I would love to continue this conversation around the virtual campfire, if you will. I just want us to stop grinding and start designing. See you. Bye.